if you're new here, thank you very much for watching. This is a collaboration between me and PropertyGuru, which is the leading property website in Malaysia. And this is me doing what I like to do, which is Q&A. And there will be several questions that are asked during the past month. And let's finish them first. If not, the producer will be staring at me. Okay, so we have the last question, right? I think this is the last question. Then we can go to the live comments straight away. But if you are watching now, you have any questions at all that's off your mind, just ask away in the comment sections, right? If I didn't get to answer all of them, you can always go to the website, which is the AskGuru segment again. Then you can ask there as well. Hashtag AskGuru Sean. Upgrade already, now Guru Sean. Okay. This is from Anonymous. What are the best strategies right now of buying and holding a property for capital appreciation and to make passive income each month in current market situation? Okay, just to break down the question a little bit, there are generally two ways to make money off a property. Number one is you buy and sell and you make the difference in the capital. So this one is what they call the capital appreciation. Passive income is calculated by rental returns. So it means that every month your rental, whether can that rental cover your monthly installment or not. So this is what they call the rental game, or they call it a cash flow game. And if you look into NAPIC, which is the statistical data department of Malaysia, the best property that has capital appreciation in Malaysia is the property that I call Nasi Lemak property of Malaysians. It means the double-story individual title terrace houses. Those are the best performing in terms of capital appreciation, and it has always been that favorite from the from Desa Park time, from Setia Alam time, from my grandparents' time. It has always been that game until condominium come. Okay, so when condo came, when apartments came, suddenly the rental became a little bit more feasible in that sense, where suddenly the rental can actually cover installment. That can barely happen for a landed property, just because the landed property prices are very, very high lah. Okay, but if you look into NAPIC again, after a terrace house, right, number one in terms of capital appreciation, what comes very close, number two, is actually apartments. So apartments is number two in capital appreciation, but is number one in rental returns. Therefore, I always encourage younger crowds to actually buy an apartment instead of a landed property, because landed property a little bit more expensive. But if you want to buy something within your means, it's going to be pretty far away from KL, and that's also dangerous. Okay, so the capital appreciation game has not been the rule of the game anymore for the past years, and in Cantonese we call it mo gam go zai chiong do lah. Really seriously, there's no more such scene where people make money from the property before they were constructed. So back then, just a little bit of Sean's story time, right? Last time when Setia Alam was building, generally people all tell me don't need to work one, just buy a property, because when I book the property before it was completed, I sell, I can make money already. Okay, sometimes when I just hand over the keys, I will earn double the property price. But if you look into the current trends, if you look into the current projects, got such thing, the fact that when you collect the keys, right, the price has already dropped just because of all the discounts that the developers are giving. Okay, so does it make sense to play that game anymore? No. But I will always encourage people to go for a rental game. It's a little bit more reliable in that sense, because if you look into how property prices are valued at, right? This is when we look into the property again, investment properties are usually determined using the ROI. Let's say if I were to sell you my property today at 500,000, every month you need to pay 3,000 ringgit. You need to pay 2,000 ringgit in money installment, but the rental is 2,500. Will you buy? Of course, no brainer, I will buy, because the 2,500 can easily cover the 2,000. So this signifies the real value of a particular property. But if it's an own stay property, for example, in Desa Park City, the price is determined by how much the other person or a new buyer is willing to pay in order to stay at that particular location. So that highly depends on the infrastructure of the property itself. Whether got good taman or not, got good commercial area or not, got good school or not. Yeah, so it's how, so these are the two distinct differences on how properties are valued in that way, own stay and investment purposes. Okay, so to me, to answer the question again, of course we want both lah. Okay, so if you want investment, go purely investment, right? Look for a property within 400 over 1,000, 500,000, still got a little bit, where the rental can easily cover your installment, right? So that would be the game if you are an investor. But if you are buying for your own stay, I would always encourage to look for a property where the existing rental returns can cover 70 to 80% of your property installment. Okay, again, 70% to 80% of your installment can be covered by the rental of today. I think it's a good own stay property, because 5 years down the road you may already want to upgrade yourself. Okay, I think that's all for the questions, and these 5 questions are the best contoh, the best illustration of winners of the $200 Grab vouchers. So, pachu! Wow, so good one. Wait, can I get Grab vouchers also? So easy. So again, for those who are watching, right, if you are contemplating, you're thinking a lot about properties and you don't know what you want to do, how to even start, a lot of questions that nobody really want to teach, you can always go to the Ask Guru segment of the website, hashtag AskGuruSean, and just ask away. So next month, we will do again, similar one, and we will do this every last Wednesday of the month. And we will pick another 5 winners, then 5 of you will earn 200 ringgit. And that can be your Christmas dinner already. New Year dinner already. Christmas, already past Christmas. New Year dinner already. Okay? So I think that's all for the question. Again, congratulations to all these 5 people. Thank you very much. And if we look, so let's dive into the comment section. Ria Ale. Jika gaji rendah masih boleh investment property? Boleh. But it depends on berapa rendah lah, right? If it's within, so I always encourage people to first have the survival first. So if your salary can help you survive, you can somewhat save some money already, then the next step would be to save up the emergency fund. An amount which I always encourage would be 6 months in total of emergency fund. So it means that if you kena pecat, if you lose your job, you can survive for the next 6 months, no worries. That's the saving that you need to have. After having that emergency fund, you need to get yourself protected in terms of insurance, right? Medical lah, hospital lah, whatever lah, okay? So after that, only when you have a little bit more extra, only we talk about investment, okay? So it's important, again, survival, then have some money for rainy days, have protection, only we can start investing. And even if you are in that stage where you can have extra money already, don't directly jump into a property yet. Learn how to manage your money. I think that's very, very important. And in today's context, there are just so many different platforms. You have robo-advisories, you have crypto, you have share market, you have bonds, you have insurance plans, a lot lah, right? So need not to be property just because it's a very, very long game, 35 years if you are still young enough lah. So I also did a video on this on YouTube where it's best to also not only invest in assets but to invest in yourself. I would rather spend that money in increasing my own earning capabilities, to go for a language course, to go for an editing course or whatsoever, to increase my active income first. Yeah, so until then, renting is not that big of a problem. A lot of people will think that you renting means somebody else is going to be rich. So when I have stories like that, it doesn't mean that you need to go and buy one. It means that you need to invest in one. Don't be an owner, be a landlord. Okay, so that would be the case. Ellie Tan. Is it now a good time to buy property, or shall I wait for moratorium ends? For those who don't understand moratorium, Malaysian government has pushed all banks to let owners to save 6 months of not paying the bank for our monthly installment. So because of that, a lot of people kind of got disappointed, especially opportunists, because when everybody don't need to pay installment, what happens? Nobody defaults on their loan. It means no lelong properties. Then it means no properties that is undervalued or below market value. If you want to wait for moratorium for that reason, so that you get opportunities to grab some auction properties, you need to wait another 9 months. So let's say end December, you need to wait, because if you need to, the process of an auction, a property being auctioned, it means 3 months to 6 months the owner missed the payment. Then they will get the first love letter, second love letter. After the third love letter, then the bank will get the lawyer to get this property passed over to an auctioneer. Then it will be in the auction hall for people to bid. That whole process is going to take 6 to 9 months time. So whatever properties that is going to be auctioned today, after the moratorium ends, we will only see it like October earliest next year. Are you going to wait until October next year? Or you're going to look for a property that is within the market right now and strike if the deal is right? My opinion, I have not wait for an auction property at all, right? When the deal is right, I will just strike lah. So I guess that's all. Ong Sim. Hi Sean, I'm a new home buyer who recently bought a 700 square feet unit during MCO. I'm planning to rent out my unit after furnishing the unit with the necessary essentials such as installing the grill, table, water heater, aircon, fan, lighting and bed, around 20,000. While assessing the risk of renting, I thought about the possibility that the tenant might just pay the rent for the first 2 months and quietly steal the furnishing that costs more than the rental deposit. My question is, how do I, as a homeowner, avoid such risk of the home furnishing getting stolen, besides carrying out a tenant profile assessment? Number 2, am I, as the owner, allowed to pay a visit to the unit regularly to check on the conditions of the unit? I'm not aware if this is a regular practice. Sorry for the long text. Thank you for reading this. So, Ong Sim, I think, 700 square feet. So first of all, congratulate on getting your own investment in property, right? So that's always the best thing. And you're going to spend 20,000 on furnishing. Sometimes you think, right, how often that tenants will empty out the unit that is 20,000 worth. They can steal everything. So let's say the rental for this 700 square feet is maybe 2,000, so you will have the deposits 4,000 to 6,000. But now, does this kind of thing happen? Of course, right? But out of how many cases? Seriously, out of how many cases? So a lot of people would be too concerned on things that barely happens. It's all data. To me, I only trust figures, right? Let's say if you are really, really concerned, there are available insurance plans for you to buy. If you go into the market, there are insurance where they can cover malicious damage like this. It means that if the owner damages everything on purpose, they will cover everything. Like for us in the makeover guys, we also do that. So for all of our properties, if they are damaged even on purpose, right, when we come to the unit and we check, we will replace everything. So there are available insurance like that in the market, and because the rental market in Malaysia is getting a little bit more sophisticated already, so are the premiums expensive? It's around 1%. It means that 1% of 20,000, then it's around 200 bucks a year. Yeah, so that will be the insurance in order to cover everything that you just said. Okay. Then of course you carry out a tenant profile assessment, you have their IC, but sometimes you come to think about it, right? What can you do? Make police report, dia curi semua punya rabot. So you still need to go back to the unit and finish up, go and repaint everything yourself. Okay. So I think the first plan of getting the insurance, get yourself protected, would be the better ones. Then do you usually go and check? What you can do is you ask for a report, meaning like every 3 months you just get the tenant to send you a picture. I think that would be more reasonable. Because always put yourself as a tenant, would you want your owner to always come to the unit? Unless with a gift, unless you bring Cindera Mata, go there, or any bobohan, then okay, then you get to see. If not, there's a trick that landlords use, which is they provide cleaning. Again, this is a trick that only people in trade to understand. If you rent the unit from me, I will provide compulsory cleaning every 3 to 6 months. And this means me bringing workers into the unit and do a deep cleaning. So in that sense, when I do this deep cleaning, it indirectly means spot check. That can be something that you want to include into your tenancy agreement as well. Good tip there. Another one, Florence Hugh. Hi Sean, when you view a subsale unit, specifically high-rise condo, what are the key areas within the unit that you will look out for? So for a normal person, usually they will look at the views, they will look at the size, they will look at the corridor width. But if you have checked out all the property review series that I've produced in the channel, I will look at the refuse chamber. First of all, a lot of people do not look at the refuse chamber, and a lot of people laugh at me why I check the rubbish room. To me, when the rubbish room is well designed, I don't even need to go to the swimming pool anymore, because the detailings and the attention to details up to the level of the rubbish room is well designed. Anything else will be okay. So that's my logic. The second one would be the car park location. A lot of people buy property already. Oh, this one got how many car park? 2. Where is the car park? Don't know. So when they tell you 2 car park, sometimes they will get the car park that is in tandem. It means front and back. Indirectly, it's calculated as 1. Okay, so it means one unit will have a car park that is front and back, and it will be a nightmare if you have 2 persons working in different worlds. So those are the things that people usually don't check. Another one would be the maintenance office. The outlook of the maintenance office directly represents the activeness of the management committee. Okay, so I will also look into the notice board where they will put up their meeting minutes of their last meeting. So this is when I will see who didn't pay. Do they list out people who didn't pay management fees and things like that? Yeah, so besides those things, the more popular ones, everybody will know. So that's the normal owner. But for me, I will look at these kind of things instead. Okay, so I hope this helps, Florence. Thank you very much for asking. Again, this is a reminder for those to also put your question into the website itself at AskGuru segment in the website. #AskGuruSean to win yourself 200 ringgit Grab voucher for next episode. Okay. Liao Yuk Long. Hi Sean, what are the criteria before buying a subsale unit? What are the criteria? Pang Lang Zhang. No lah. So, this question so simple yet so deep. Okay, subsale units means units that are already in the market. You are buying directly from an owner. First of all, I will check the size. Okay, and check the size, but check the price. If the price is good, only I will check the condition. And the condition is very, very important, especially if you are buying a landed. And if you're buying something more than 10 years old, right, it's even more important to check the condition. And in sub-sales, there's this concept called as is where is basis. It means you buy the property. If the property comes with a hole, you will need to buy the property with the hole. So that's a concept where you need to, when you go into a sub-sale property, if you want to buy it, take a lot of pictures. And it's even more messy when they come bulk, stock and barrel. It means you buy the house with everything inside, the parabot inside, the chandelier inside, the water heater inside, aircon inside. So when I draft the SPA, but when I get the keys, right, the house empty. Then you say, oh, inside got aircon, got furniture, got all. What's the proof? No proof. Then you lose the case. And this is pretty common when I was a property agent. Okay, so in sub-sales, the concept of as is, where is basis is very, very important. So now, last time they indirectly disclose my age. I need to bring camera to the house just to take picture. But now phone already so clear, right? Snap away. Okay. Yep. So I think that's the question. Next question. Joey Ui. Hi Sean. What is your personal opinion in regards to freehold sub-sale condo now for investment? 1,004 square feet, 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 10 years old, which is around 450,000. My concern is that now there is an hangover new units in Klang Valley. What more rumor whip that's only costing for 300k? Okay, again, regardless hangover or not, overhang, not hangover. It's overhang units. It means, for those who don't understand, when the developer builds a building, then when it's fully completed, there's still a lot of units that are not sold or unsold. It's called the overhang units. And this is a scary figure that the government will always push to be very big, right? Actually, to me, it doesn't make sense at all. Because why these property are overhang? The price is wrong. They are wrongly priced. So in an area where it's 700 per square feet, this one tries to sell 1,000. That's why overhang. Okay, what? It's only logical that people don't want to buy just because it's more expensive. Okay, they will hope for the market to improve, where suddenly now the entire market increased to 900 per square feet now. Suddenly 1,000 per square feet makes sense. Then only it will slowly be absorbed in the market. But if you want to make an investment unit, like what you said just now, especially sub-sale, the benefit of buying a sub-sale property ultimately is you are buying certainty. You are buying exactly what you can see. You will know who are the neighbors, you will know exactly the orientation, you will know how many doors, how many holes in the property very, very clearly, including the rental returns, including the management fee, including the past owner. So all these kind of things are the benefits of buying a sub-sale property. It means you can do all the necessary calculation. If 1,004 square feet, the monthly installment just now is 700,000, right? No, how just now is 450,000. 450,000. 450,000. Let's say if you are young like me, it means that your installment amount is going to be 137-ish. Before maintenance. So 1,004 maintenance around 350 bucks. So per month 1,007. If you can rent out your unit around 1,008, even if next door is rumah whip, right? There's existing rental of people paying 1,008 for your unit. Go ahead. Okay? Don't let rumah whip be such a concern. Don't let overhang properties to be such a concern. Okay, so that's a property developer's problem where they have unsold units. Don't have to be so concerned. Yeah, so that would be my take. Okay, thank you so much for asking. The next question is Gabriel. What is your advice for first-time home buyers? What is the minimum salary of saving should have at least to get secured? In my opinion, it's best to have around 15 to 20% of the property that you want to buy, even if it's a new property. Of course, a lot of people would then think that, hey, you know, now I pay booking 1,500, I can own property already, what? But a lot of people forget about the renovation, which comes 3 to 4 years later. And for renovation, usually it's all cash. And again, not everyone gets the chance to buy a lot of properties. That's why nobody really gets to share the experience of furnishing a home, which is very, very painful if you have no experience at all. 10,000 can barely do anything right now, if you come to think about it. A kitchen cabinet. So sometimes you look at the unit, it's empty, bare furnished. That's why the price is very, very attractive. You buy. Kitchen cabinet, chin chai lah, but now chin chai is around 8,000. Right? Then sofa set, fan, aircon, furnishing, the fan, light, aircon, curtain, water heater, vacuum plug, washing machine, hood and hob, already how much? 15 to 20,000. Close eye, right? So that is the amount that I will encourage everyone to have. But another step back, right? Why you want to buy the property becomes a better discussion altogether. If you're buying it as a home, then it's a must that you will need to have this amount. But if you're buying it as an investment, there are still ways to go about it, and there are still ways to leverage on the existing financing infrastructure that we have. Yeah, but I think that would be a better question to ask yourself, Gabriel. Okay, thank you very much for asking. Lai Ming, what should we look for when buying Lelong property? The condition of the property. But okay, so there's this. When I was a property agent, which is like 12 years ago, there was this rumor that is very scary about an auction property in Mont Kiara where the winner, the successful bidder of the property, when they go to the unit, there was a fridge with something inside the fridge, and these kind of rumors became the story of the entire auction property. And auction property back then is always when people cannot pay the money installment, that's why they gonna auction ma. And usually it comes with bad karma lah, bad feng shui lah. That's why the owner who stays inside lah, the business will collapse lah, everything relationship break down lah, whatever lah. Now, not really, because of the oversupply apartments that we have. It means that a lot of investors are buying properties that they cannot afford. So suddenly when you get a unit that is under auction right now, 8 out of 10 properties are generally new properties. And those are the units, to me, that are okay. So the entire rule of the game has changed, but ultimately it's the existing condition of the property. And if you are not experienced at all, you think that you can get an auction property which is 20% to 30% below market value. If you have not entered a bidding system before, it's quite fun, therefore it's dangerous. Because if you are kiasu like me, you want to outbid people and it's merely clicks, one click 2,000, one click 2,000, one click 2,000. And most of the time, as we see the market for the past months, the successful bidder always pay more than market value for the property, although it started below market value. So that's pretty scary, and it only happens when buyers are inexperienced. So to me, I would recommend to pay the 1% bank draft to the auctioneer. Go and sit in a few rounds first if you want to get an auction property lah. And you really need to be and it's best that you really understand the property that you're going to bid. What's the market value? What for you buy a Lelong property that's more expensive than a sub-sale property? Right? So that would be the advice if you're going for Lelong properties lah. Okay? Michael Boone. Hi Sean. Hi Michael. Yvonne Koo. Will you recommend buying first property for own stay or investment? It depends. If you are like me, fortunate enough to have a parent's house to stay, then I will always go for investment. So until today, all properties that I have in my portfolio are all investments. But on a serious note, I always encourage people to go for investment first because of you starting young. I'm assuming that you are young lah. So if you're within 28 to 35, still very, very young, I will always consider to go for investment property first. So the criteria of choosing that property becomes investment oriented. It means as long as the rental can cover the installment, that will be the ultimate goal for the property before you buy. Even if, let's say, you need to get married, suddenly you need to move to US, you need to move to Thailand, you need to move to Singapore, you can move. This house will not be a liability. Or you can get promoted as well, you need to relocate yourself, this house will not be a liability. Just imagine if this property is now a home that you pick because you like it, you love it, therefore it's okay to pay a little bit more. Suddenly, when you get relocated, you are presented with opportunities. You cannot take them because what happens to the property? If you want to rent out, then the rental cannot cover the installment because you buy at a very, very high price just because you like it. Then you also very scared, you susah hati when the tenant damages your property. You put in all your favorite furnitures, you paint up the wall, then the owner has cats or whatsoever that scratch your wall, then you there's too much emotional things attached to the property, then I say it's a no. Therefore, I will always encourage people to buy an investment property first. Even if you want to stay yourself, it needs to come from an investment side of things. It needs to make sense in terms of investment first. Because after you stay 3 to 5 years later, of course you want to upgrade one. After you upgrade, then this property can be as an investment. Okay, Joey Ui. Thanks, Sean, for answering. My another concern is that I'm not able to rent out because now new properties can be bought at 300,000. My logic is that why would I rent when I can buy? I thought of buying over my parents' place property opposite KL East Mall, one of the PVs. Why would I rent when I can buy? So there's this huge debate, right, about flexibility. Even I will always. So the rule that we all practice as property investors is to buy where you want to invest and to rent where you want to stay. Again, to buy where you want to invest and to rent where you want to stay. So if you have a lot of rumah whip, it doesn't mean necessarily people can afford. And if you talk about PV area, that's very focused on TAR college students. Unless you are at the other side also, if you're at KL East Mall side, a lot of people who works at Jalan Ampang, right, will be the main audience there. And because of the sceneries there, which are excellent, if you have not been to the view or if you have not been to the KL East Mall, right, oof, the view is amazing. Okay, back to the point. To me, like rental, there's only so much people that can buy rumah whip, and just when we think that rumah whip, a lot of people will buy, then nobody will rent. Again, how do we determine that? Again, is to look at the existing rental returns. If there's rental that's around the market providing you 1,500, right? Why would you want to think about if this rumah whip completed, unless the property rent drop, unless the rental price drop, 1,500 now 1,000 now 800, okay, then you can say that within that market nobody wants to rent this property anymore. Then it's only a valid point. If not, all these, right, are just mere talks. There's no data supporting the stats. And to me, the two best reference point for property data is rental and past transacted price. But if you want to buy over your parents' place also, maybe you want to consider refinancing so you can buy another one. I think, again, if you want to ask more detailed questions, right, please do welcome to put your questions in AskGuru segment. Hashtag AskGuru Sean. So just by asking question, and if the team pick your question, you get to win $200. Right, so that would be great. And we are going to do this every end of the month, the last Wednesday of every month. And for the December session, there will be another friend, a very, very famous friend. What is to be able to call him as a friend, right, is already a very fortunate thing ever, right? Because he's at a different level. Okay lah. So it's a very, very famous person that I can't wait to have this session in. But I also very stressed because he's super king, super smart, not so handsome lah. I can't believe I say that. Anyway, so do stay tuned for the next session again in the same time. Next, again 29, right? 29 December. Very close to the new year. It may be the last live session for that year. Awesome. Like that, 2021 finished already. And if you want to guess who is it, you can just follow our Facebook page, our Instagram page for the latest update. And I guess that's about it for today. Thank you very much for watching. For those who are watching live, thank you very much. Seriously, because of you guys, I'm here collaborating with the Malaysia leading property website, PropertyGuru. And with that, ciao. Good night.